Nate Bargatze, the Be Funny Tour.
I mean, Chuck E. Cheese is rough. I don't know if you've been there in a while. They look like they're trying to go to business and they can't.
All new material.
They filed for bankruptcy and they're still open. They called Blockbuster and they're like, how do you get out? We want out.
Nate Bargatze.
Friday, May 31st, FedEx Forum. Tickets available at FedEx Forum box office or Ticketmaster.com. Produced by Outback Presents.
Nate Bargatze, the Be Funny Tour. Heart Royal Flush Tour 2024. November 14th, FedEx Forum. A journey through the hits and timeless classics. The iconic band returns with special guests. Jason Bonham's Led Zeppelin Evening. Tickets on sale now at heart-music.com. Heart with Jason Bonham's Led Zeppelin Evening. Produced by AEG Presents.
I think we have the college basketball title futures. UConn's number one.
I really like Houston. I'd have them winning it all, but you can't be giving Drake jerseys. What is wrong with you?
Maybe the Drake curse is stronger in college basketball.
Well, how long has he been riding with Kentucky?
He wore an Alabama jersey and Saban retired.
The Odds Couple with Rob Fisher, Lang Whitaker, John Roser, and CJ Hurt live Thursdays at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Looking for a full-court dining experience? Dribble over to Southland Casino Hotel, your ultimate gaming oasis in West Memphis. As a proud sponsor of the Memphis Grizzlies, we're inviting you to savor the flavors at our 8 incredible dining venues. Ignite Steakhouse is where culinary excellence gets grilled. Indulge in charcoal-grilled steaks and farm-to-table favorites, perfectly paired with wine or handcrafted cocktails. Enjoy an all-access buffet experience at the kitchens, or revel in comfort food and Southern classics at the Fry House. If casual is more your thing, sample the innovative fare at Seasons Cafe, while Chairman's Bar and Charred Oak Bourbon Bar serve up cocktails and live concerts every week. For those on the go, The Grind is your one-stop coffee shop with gourmet brews and grab-and-go goodies. And of course, we can't forget the Sports Bar and Grill, where you can catch all the Grizzlies action with the best pub fare in town. At Southland Casino Hotel, we've got the perfect dining experience for you, so come on down and ignite your taste buds today.
Must be 21 plus. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Live from the Built Ford Tough studio at FedEx Forum, it's the Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South, on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Now, here's your host, Gary Parrish.
All right, I'm here. My name is Gary Parrish. I'm speaking in for the Built Ford Tough Studio, FedEx Forum, downtown Memphis. Bennett Doyle producing the program. Glad he's with me. Glad you're with me. Hope you're getting through the day best you can. And I hope you didn't think the Indiana Pacers would do any better than the Indiana Fever ever does. They're losing a lot in Indianapolis these days.
Yeah.
Hope you didn't think the Pacers were going to bounce back in game 2 and make these Eastern Conference Finals interesting, because that didn't happen last night. Tyrese Halliburton's hurt. Things aren't going well for Indiana. Going really well for Jaylen Brown and the Boston Celtics. We'll talk about it momentarily. First, though, quickly, let me set today's schedule for you. When I finish this open, we're going to take a break, come back, do 5 more things you need to know, at which point we're going to discuss 5 previously undiscussed stories. Among them, the NCAA has reached a settlement in 3 antitrust cases that effectively ends amateurism, but I bet it won't end the court cases. I'll tell you why. We'll do that in about 20 minutes. The Louisville police officer who arrested the top-ranked golfer in the world, Scottie Scheffler, last week, he's been disciplined. We'll laugh about this. We'll laugh about this fella. We'll do that a little later on in the show. Wheel of Fortune got wild yesterday.
It did.
What are they doing on Wheel of Fortune?
Talking about butts.
What in the world?
Butt stuff.
Butt stuff. All-time hilarious, ridiculous guess by a contestant. It's ridiculous for multiple reasons. We'll play it for you in the next segment. Charles Barkley went on Dan Patrick's show and publicly blasted TNT's president. Like that's like his boss. Right?
Correct.
It'd
Yes.
be like me coming on here and just yelling about Robert Perry. You think I'm crazy? You think I'm nutty? You think I'm nutty in the head? There's only a few people who could do what Charles Barkley did yesterday and survive. I'll tell you exactly what he said. We'll do that in just a bit. And Travis Kelce is the latest Kansas City Chief to publicly comment on Harrison Butker's controversial commencement speech. I'll tell you what he said during a segment we call 5 More Things You Need to Know. Then we'll do GP's carryout. We'll call it a day, and we'll get started with this Memorial Day weekend. Are you looking forward to your Memorial Day weekend?
I am looking forward to Memorial Day weekend. You know, Memorial Day, like, it's obviously it's an important holiday.
Is it?
I think we can all agree on. Oh, well, yes, we're recognizing the people who made the ultimate sacrifice for our country. So, yes, I believe it is an important holiday.
Okay.
First and foremost.
Okay. How would you rank it? Would you rank it ahead of Christmas?
No.
So, like, their sacrifice is important, but not as important as you getting presents.
You know how much I love Christmas.
Yeah. Just trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Just trying to see where you stand on this.
Christmas is sacred, bro.
I understand.
Come on.
So what about Thanksgiving? You think Memorial Day is better than Thanksgiving?
Ooh, I love me some Thanksgiving.
So they
too.
made the ultimate
I love me some
sacrifice, and you do
Thanksgiving, too.
appreciate that, but not like more than turkey. Is that what you're saying?
I just like the everything that comes with Thanksgiving, not necessarily just the turkey.
You don't like everything that comes with Memorial Day?
Well, no. I don't like the mosquitoes. I don't like the mosquitoes.
Who does?
I don't like that. It's kind of humid out there.
Yeah.
But it is the kickstart of summer.
Yeah, I think so.
Kids are out of school.
Sure.
It is like the official kickstart, right? Like
it feels that way.
Memorial Day it's kind of like a point in the calendar that you're like, oh, Memorial Day. Okay, summer's here.
Summer's here.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I don't normally I set my alarm clock for like 6:30, 6:45.
Yeah.
Didn't do that today.
Oh, because, your kids are out.
Out of school.
They don't have school on Friday. So they got out yesterday.
I don't know when they got out. We just stopped going at some point. I don't really know what happened. I would just wake up and I would ask.
yeah.
I'd be like, is anybody going to school today? And sometimes they'd say yes, and sometimes they'd say no. And if they said yes, I'd say, all right, we'll jump in the shower. And if they said no, I'd say, all right, whatever. If nobody else cares, I don't guess I should care.
See, I'm trying to cherish this summer because this is the last year for probably forever, it seems like at this point, that we're not going to have to deal with like the school calendar, right?
Meaning?
Like you're having, like my kid goes to daycare every day or preschool.
Sure.
It was daycare and turned into preschool, right? But he'll still be there until elementary school roll. And then we got to figure out like plans, what to do every day. What do we do with him when school gets out, when summer rolls around, all that stuff, because he ain't got nowhere to go.
Well, luckily his father has a job that gets him out of here around noon every day.
Well, that's not true every day though. And then when the season rolls around, not true at all. So like I'm really going to be up against it in the fall.
Might need to hire a nanny.
Yeah.
We'll get you a nanny.
That's expensive. Probably going to look into some after school situation.
Maybe get an after
something
school
of
situation.
That nature.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't. I understand your pain. I got 3 boys myself.
Yeah.
We've all been through this. This is nothing unique to you. Mm-hmm. We've all been through this.
But I do like Memorial Day in the sense that there's nothing to really do. Like, with Christmas, with Thanksgiving, with all the major holidays, Easter, like you have to do stuff.
I think on Memorial Day, you just have to
fire up the grill and watch TV.
You have to just remember some stuff. That's what it is on Memorial Day.
Yeah.
You just have to remember.
We got like the inflatable pool. Like,
you sit around and think for a second. Just remember some stuff, and that's how you celebrate Memorial Day.
Well, I will reflect and think and
I'm gonna reflect.
Everything of that nature.
What are you going to reflect on, you think?
Oh, just life in general.
Yeah, I think so.
Why am I here?
Why am I here?
Yeah.
I'm gonna sit around and wonder why other people made the ultimate sacrifice, and it never even occurred to me to try.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, would you make the ultimate sacrifice? All jokes aside. If somebody said there's a war, like Russia just attacked us like they did Ukraine.
Yes.
And like you can either fight for your country or you can let the other fellas do it. What would you do?
I mean, it depends on how bad things get.
Like it's a war.
Because we have a really great armed forces. So I think we're capable without me of taking care of business. But like it depends on how bad things get.
Let's say things get real bad.
Real bad. Well, if things get real bad,
and the president of the United States is like, if you got a beard, and we need you. If you got a beard, we need you.
You look like you have experience.
And then you look right in the mirror and you're like, damn, he's talking about me. Would you be willing if I said, hey, Bennett, you got to go fight in this war. Our country's existence is at stake, and there's a decent chance you'll have to end your life. There's a decent chance your life will be over, but we need you. What are you going to do?
I'd like to say yes, that I would do it.
I'd like to say yes too, but it would be a lie.
Now counterpoint, if it gets to that point, there's going to be a draft. So we're not going to have a choice.
Would you dodge the draft?
No, I would not be a draft dodger. No.
I think I would.
I would not be a draft dodger. No.
I think I would. Plus, I have obstructive sleep apnea. They can't take me into an army.
Well, that's the thing, though, too, is, and we're getting really deep into it now, is back then it was like, okay, if you don't have polio, like you're out there, we're throwing you out there, like you're going.
Right.
Now you probably have like the sniffles, and they're like, sorry, you don't check the boxes.
I tore my ACL once, and I got obstructive sleep apnea and slightly high cholesterol. I don't think they're interested in me.
Exactly.
Right.
So I think that there's gonna be a lot of those cases.
Okay, so you're not gonna get drafted. I'm asking, are you? Hey,
am I willing?
Hey, your home is safe. Your family is safe. Your neighborhood is safe. But over there in Little Rock, the Russians are taking over, and we need you.
Oh.
Are you willing to go to Little Rock?
I love
Are
Little
you
Rock.
willing to fight for Little Rock? That's what I want to know.
I love Little Rock, and I think I would fight for Little Rock.
I wouldn't.
There are neighbors.
I know.
There are neighbors.
Right.
Like when I think of,
I would cheer for Little Rock, but from the safety of my home.
If someone,
I would root for Little Rock. I'd get me like a Little Rock shirt and a Little Rock flag, and I'd root for them, but I'm not going to be an active participant.
If someone was like, what is Memphis's like partner city? Like the biggest city around Memphis that's like their, like if Memphis was to marry another city, what would it be? I'd probably say Little Rock.
Because they don't look down at us.
I don't think they look down at us.
Do we look down at them?
I don't look down at them.
I don't look down.
I love hopping over there.
I like Little
going
Rock.
through Little Rock. Go to Hot Springs. Like I love it over there.
We don't look down. I think we got
no.
healthy relationship, us in Little Rock.
I think we have a really healthy relationship. Would you fight for Little Rock?
Would you fight Russians for Little Rock?
Yes.
I would.
I would.
I don't even understand how people get it in their head that they want to fight.
Well, I mean, we're not like doing a lot of fighting right now.
No, but I know people like they join and then they go over there and they come back with no legs.
Yeah.
Like I know people.
I got it.
They have legs, and then they say, I'll fight for our country. And then the next time I see them, they ain't got legs.
I think I would do it. If things got really bad, I think I would do it.
Well, then God bless you.
Thank you.
You're a good American.
Thank you.
I'm gonna,
but I'm hoping things don't get bad.
I'm gonna reflect on you on Monday.
Okay.
Not as somebody.
Well, no, I'm not.
Not as somebody who paid the biggest sacrifice. But I'm going to think of you as somebody who might be willing to, under a special set of circumstances, if Little Rock were involved.
Yes.
I feel like Monday's your day.
I would defend Little Rock.
I feel like Monday's your day.
Yes.
You want to talk basketball?
Yeah.
You're not going to believe this.
What? How many?
We're now 34 full days into the 2024 NBA playoffs. Can you believe that?
It feels like it just started yesterday. It wasn't.
It wasn't. I imagine that's what war feels like. I imagine war feels a lot like the NBA playoffs. Last forever and you lose people along the way.
Yeah.
Like Tyrese Halliburton.
Damn.
I bet you the NBA playoffs
he
is
was a casualty yesterday.
Pretty comparable. It's pretty comparable to war. Day 34, it provided us with a blowout, unfortunately. Final score, Celtics 126, Pacers 110. Didn't even feel that close.
No.
Jaylen Brown was the star. He took 27 shots, made 14 of them, finished with 40 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. He played 37 minutes. It's his second 40-point game of his career in the Eastern Conference Finals. He now got 2 of these. Do you know only 2 players have more 40-point games in the history of the Eastern Conference Finals? Did you know that?
Who? Him and LeBron?
You want to guess? Only 2 players in the history of the Eastern Conference Finals have more 40-point games than Jaylen Brown.
LeBron and D-Wade?
Don't skip the obvious one.
Oh, Michael.
Of course.
Yeah, MJ and LeBron.
Yep. They're the only 2 people. Only 2 people on the planet. Only 2 people on the planet.
Why did Dwayne Wade come to mind before Michael Jordan?
I don't know.
No offense.
I don't know. Only 2 men or women, 2 people in the history of the Eastern Conference playoffs have more 40-point games. Eastern Conference Finals, rather, have more 40-point games than Jaylen Brown. It's LeBron James and Michael Jordan. LeBron James has 9. Michael Jordan has 6.
That's pretty impressive, dude. It's obviously because of Jason Tatum, you just don't think of him in that light as like a superstar in the East, but he very much is.
Some other guys who got 2. Allen Iverson has 2. Jimmy Butler has 2. But it's a nice little bullet point. Only 2 people in the history of the NBA have ever had more 40-point games in the Eastern Conference Finals than Jaylen Brown. It is LeBron James and Michael Jordan, the two people who, according to most, rank 1 and 2 as the GOATs in the history of the NBA. It was a 40-point game that came just a day after Jaylen Brown was omitted from All-NBA, despite averaging 23 points per game for a 64-win team, the team with the best record in the NBA. Asked about that last night. Did you see his quote?
I did.
He said, because they asked him, they were like, do you take offense? Are you bothered? You're left off All-NBA? And he said, we're 2 games away from the finals, so I don't have time to give a F. He doesn't give a F. I think he does.
Oh, I think he does. He should have
does.
clearly made All-NBA.
You know how I know I don't know that he should have clearly made All-NBA.
I think so.
I don't know that he shouldn't have. I never really looked into it. I don't remember, if I'm being honest, leading up to All-NBA, people saying, man, Jaylen Brown's got to be on there. And I don't remember when the teams were announced, people were like, oh, my God, this is crazy. Jaylen Brown's not on there. It feels like that conversation only started after he got 40 points the next day in the Eastern Conference Finals. His PER, I was surprised by this. I went and looked at his player efficiency rating, which isn't an end-all, be-all, but it was, it's something that exists. Where do you think his PER was this season?
I don't know.
It was not.
It's
not
good.
It's not as great as you would think. Take a guess. I want to hear you guess at something.
What's the what's a good number?
Well, I'll just tell you that this season in PER, the leader was Joel Embiid at 34.38, followed by Nikola Jokic at 31.26.
I'll say Jaylen Brown was at 27.
He's at 18.85, ranked 64th in the NBA. Ranked 64th in the NBA. Does that surprise you?
Yes.
That surprised me.
Especially because they won 64 games.
Yeah, I just don't. Yeah. So perhaps that's the explanation. I'd let some smarter analytics-minded NBA people tell me, but perhaps that's the explanation for why he didn't make All-NBA. But he was asked about it last night. He said he don't give an F. He said the whole F word. We ain't allowed to do that. But the way I know that he ain't being honest with us, the way I know he's not being truthful as he should be, is he followed that up by saying he knows. He said, I know I'm better on both sides of the ball than several guys who get more attention, fanfare, and accolades. He said he's been watching it happen much of his career, and he's grown perhaps not comfortable with it, but certainly he's become used to it. He said he's okay with it because he's used to it. A little bit of a Scottie Pippen thing going on here. Great player who playing for a great team, who happens to be spending his entire career playing by a person most believe is a better player. That must be tough on some level.
Yeah.
It seems to have had an impact on Scottie Pippen. He's walking around mad as hell all the time. Right? He just resents Michael Jordan, seems to resent everything. Just seems like he even said recently, I was a better player than Michael Jordan. Now, nobody else thinks that on this entire planet, but he feels that. That's somewhere inside of him. And he will even say things like, look at Michael Jordan's career. What did he win before I got there? Huh? What did he ever do before I showed up? It's not the worst point in the world.
Yeah.
But I don't know that Jaylen Brown resents Jason Tatum. In fact, I don't believe that that's true. Or at least I don't know that to be true. But he does seem to be, whether he says it or not, bothered by the idea that he isn't recognized as one of the stars of this league, even though he's on a massive contract, even though he's been in 1 million Eastern Conference Finals, even though he's played in the NBA Finals, even though he's clearly been the second best player on one of the best teams for a long time now. The problem for him seems to be that he is the second best player, and even if that makes him a top 15 player in the world, you're still looked at as just the second best guy on your team. And he at least seems to think that's why other people get more attention than him.
I think it's true, and I think he's got a point because, like, if you just look at this series, if you told me before this series started, would you rather have on your team going forward Jaylen Brown or Tyrese Halliburton? I think I would say Jaylen Brown. But you think of Tyrese Halliburton as like this new up-and-coming star that's leading this Pacers team to the Eastern Conference Finals. You don't think of Jaylen Brown necessarily in that same light, even though he is on the best team in the league.
Like Jaylen Brown could maybe be more important. I don't know. Halliburton's really
He's
good.
great. Yeah.
But Jaylen Brown could be the best player on a good team. I think that.
I think that too.
But he's not.
Right.
And it feels like his reputation on some level takes a hit for that. But maybe being in the 60s in PER is the reason you're not getting the accolades that
probably so.
You think you deserve. Either way, buddy, he got the accolades last night.
Yes.
And all the standing ovations. He was properly appreciated. And now Boston has a 2-0 lead in these Eastern Conference Finals. And as previously mentioned, Tyrese Halliburton is hurt. He's got a hamstring injury.
Man.
I mean, he left last night's game. He did not return. It's the same hamstring he injured back in January in the regular season.
Yep.
And when he injured at that time, he missed 10 games. And if you saw Rick Carlisle postgame last night, it was one of those where I know he felt like Mike Malone when Mike Malone was popping off the other night after they lost Game 7 in Denver to Minnesota.
Yes.
Mike Malone got real weird and
with a reporter. Yeah.
It was just rooted in he's so mad.
Yeah.
It wasn't meant to be a shot at the reporter as much as he was just so mad he couldn't help himself.
Right.
I could see Carlisle almost going there. He was so mad last night and so frustrated. It's probably more frustration than anger because it's just we're here and now we're hurt.
Yeah.
He had to almost catch himself to – I could see him being short and then intentionally taking a breath and talking more to
I noticed that too.
To not be short. But he was clearly frustrated. And when he was talking about Halliburton, they kept pressing him a little bit. He'd say, hey, I don't really know much right now. And they'd say, well, based on what you do know. They kept follow-up question. He was getting frustrated with it. And he just said at one point was it's the same hamstring that he hurt in January. And you guys tell me, how many games did he miss then? And they were 10. He was so.
Yeah.
So it's a wrap.
Yeah, I think so without him. I mean, the Pacers did go down 0-2 to the Knicks, right? And came back and won the series. But without him, I think that's just going to be really tough against this Celtics team.
Yeah, you can talk about how resilient they've been this postseason, going down 2-0 to the Knicks, winning a Game 7 in the Garden. All of that stuff happened with Tyrese Halliburton. Whatever happens next is almost certainly going to happen without Tyrese Halliburton. And TJ McConnell, he's a fine backup point guard, but that's what he is. He's a backup point guard. He's like a
TJ been going off in these playoffs.
Yeah,
but
you get so much smaller with him.
Yeah, clearly.
I mean, Tyrese Halliburton's 6'5".
That's
I know Indiana ain't winning anything with their defense, but you do get smaller. TJ McConnell's 6'1". That's a problem. And when your backup point guard's got to be your starting point guard, that can work sometimes when it's Tyus Jones and surrounded by good pieces, but that ain't. You don't go down 0-2 to the best team in the world and lose your star.
Yep.
And come back from that. So I'm assuming this is over, and the betting market suggests that it is as well. Boston's now minus 10,000 to win the Eastern Conference Finals. And the most likely scenario in the betting markets, if you were trying to, do a prop bet on exact series, how does this go?
Yeah.
So, you could go, I'm going to go Boston Game 1, Boston Game 2, then Pacers Game 3, Boston Game 4, Boston Game 5. However you think this will play out, if you get it exactly right, you hit.
Yes.
The most likely scenario now, you know what it is? Boston Game 1, Boston Game 2. Those are locked in.
Yep.
Boston Game 3, Boston Game 4.
Yeah.
A 4-game sweep is now the most likely outcome, according to FanDuel.
I don't know if it'll be that. I even think without Halliburton, the Pacers will get a game just because we've seen Boston give teams a game throughout these playoffs.
Right.
So I think
home court
they'll
advantage,
get a game,
take a bunch
they'll
of
probably
threes,
win the next game.
See what happens.
Yeah.
It's just, you ready for this? I don't care what happens in Game 3. This is over.
I agree.
The Pacers can win Game 3 by 30. And unless it happens with Jason Tatum twisting an ankle or Jaylen Brown, messing up a hamstring or something like that, this thing is...
Now, if Halliburton comes back, then I'm not ready to say that, but I'm with you. I don't think he's coming back.
Rick Carlisle, I'll just trust his coach.
Yeah.
I'll trust his coach. His coach
he knew.
His coach said it's the same hamstring it was in January. How many games did he miss in January? 10. Okay, well, we probably... We got a game on Saturday and another one on Monday.
Yeah.
This is tough. This is going to be tough. With that in mind, Carlisle did also get questioned about pulling his starters last night with about 9 minutes to go. Pascal Siakam didn't play like the final 9:25. You got any issue with that?
I think I would have. I mean, it's the Eastern Conference Finals. Yeah, I think you just keep swinging until it's like completely done. You know, I think you probably wait till at least 4 minutes left.
I think 9:25 is too early.
I do too.
You know, it's like we've seen people come back from those types of deficits and even bigger ones. We've seen it happen in this building,
right?
In the playoffs.
That's right.
We were on the wrong side of it. Shouts to Nick Young. But it's interesting because I don't know where the sweet spot is exactly. My point being, when the Knicks were in a series and they were up big with, 9, 8, 7 minutes left in the fourth, Tom Thibodeau keeps his starters in there. You know what people call on TV the next morning to say?
Dude, why are you running him into the ground? Yeah.
So then Carlisle does exactly what people seem to suggest they think Thibodeau should do.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, what are you doing? And I guess maybe it's, different ends of the spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
The analogy I just gave was the Knicks up big. But even like when there's a scenario where the Knicks are down big and people are saying, Tibbs, why are you leaving your guys in?
Right.
And then here's one last night. Pacers down big, and Carlisle pulls his guys, and they're saying, Rick, why didn't you leave your guys in? So I guess it's somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of with you. Like, you've already lost your point guard, probably for the series. You're only going to get 4 shots at this, probably. Might as well take this one.
Yep.
And just see what happens. Probably not. There was never a moment. How about this? Watching it in real time, I wasn't going, what is he doing? Because I was like, it never felt like they were going to come back and win the game or even threaten.
No.
So it didn't feel stupid to me in real time. But after the game, when people start talking about it, he didn't help himself with his explanation. Did you hear what he said? They were like, why you go to your bench about 9 minutes left in the fourth. He said, just trying to see what, some other guys can do. It's like, dude,
you're in the Eastern Conference Finals.
And one of the guys you put in was Doug McDermott.
Yeah.
Like, how do we – I think everybody at this point –
you should know your team pretty well.
At this point, I think the whole world knows what Doug McDermott can do and what he cannot do. He's been in the NBA for a decade. And you're right. It's the Eastern Conference Finals. It's not a Wednesday night game in Charlotte in February. It's the Eastern Conference Finals. You don't just wave a flag. I don't think.
I don't think so either.
You wave a flag. You might call a timeout and say, all right, guys, we're launching threes next 5 possessions, and and then come back over here and talk to me, and we'll see where we're at. But I think it's a little early to pull the trigger on that thing. He said Siakam was gassed, and I guess so. But Joe Mazzulla didn't take his starters out,
right?
And then that suggests he didn't think the game was over. When the other coach doesn't take his starters out, it suggests he doesn't think the game's over, or perhaps he just didn't want his players to lose focus the way they sometimes do, whatever. But that was another point of contention last night, at least among Pacers fans and the Pacers coaching staff. Like, are you sure we should have pulled the plug on this as quickly as we did? Either way, again, Boston now up 2-0, minus 10,000 to advance to the NBA Finals. Looking ahead to tonight, we get Game 2 Western Conference Finals. Mavericks Timberwolves. We're going to do that in Minneapolis. Dallas won Game 1 on Wednesday. Didn't get to talk to you about it yesterday because you were out. But Luke and Kyrie were obviously both great. Anthony Edwards was not. And hasn't been for a minute now. 22-year-old star, but he's just 12 of 40 in his past 2 games from the field. Was bad in Game 7, at least offensively, against Denver, and bad in Game 1, at least offensively, against Dallas. In the regular season, he shot 46% from the field, Anthony Edwards did. And in 3 of Minnesota's past 4 games, he's been below 38% from the field. So he's got to get on track.
Yeah.
Breakout game tonight?
I think he'll have a big game. I mean, I think they've got to figure out how to get him off Kyrie a little bit, because I think that defensive assignment is just, he's worn down. You saw him in the game. He's got the towel over his head. He's tired. He's chasing around Kyrie the whole time on defense. I think they got to figure out a way to get him some breaks there.
And we talked about it yesterday, but Kyrie made note. Like, when Anthony Edwards, after Game 7, said, my assignment's Kyrie, so let's go. Like, Kyrie was like, all right, you sure you want this?
Mm-hmm.
What are you asking for exactly?
Yeah.
All right? Because you can say whatever you want to about Kyrie Irving. He's a tough cover.
No kidding. Yeah.
He's a tough cover.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'll let the Minnesota coaching staff figure that out. But clearly Anthony Edwards' mouth, which is one of his great attributes.
Yep.
The things we all love it. But it got him into a situation with Kyrie Irving. And Kyrie was very respectful. It wasn't like, I don't want some young guy talking about me. Kyrie was like, I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I love Anthony Edwards. And that's competition. Like, I like him calling me out. I didn't take offense to it. I was like, all right, let's go. But certainly in game one, Kyrie got the better of it. So that'll be something to keep an eye on tonight.
I'm fired up for this game.
I am too.
Yeah, man.
And it's not a must win, but you don't want to go down 0-2 at home.
No, you talked about with Pacers Celtics, like, we're done here. We know what the score is. Like, this series right here, I have no idea. I just have no clue which way to lean.
Yeah,
I picked Minnesota to get to the finals and to win the whole thing, but
Well, if Luka Doncic is going to play at this level, then Dallas should be the favorite. And Dallas now is the favorite in the betting markets because they won game one. They took home court advantage. Dallas is the favorite. The most likely finals matchup right now in the betting markets is Celtics-Mavericks.
Yeah.
And, it's not crazy. I could see Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving winning a championship.
I could too.
Sometimes we get even to this stage, and it sounds crazy because it's there's only 4 teams left, but it usually only feels like, yeah, but I only could see 2 of these winning.
Yeah.
Boston winning the championship is the most likely scenario, easy to envision, but I could also see Minnesota. I could also see Dallas. The only one at this point you can't see is the Pacers.
Right.
And that's really what we said even before the conference finals got started. But I'm with you. I'm more excited about tonight than I was last night.
Mm-hmm.
Last night was interesting, because you want to see how the Patriots will respond, and then can they do anything without Halliburton? But once the game is over, it's like, all right, that series, I'll turn on game 3,
right?
But who cares? I won't make it appointment television. I won't schedule around it. But tonight, this is great.
Yeah,
this is great. And I don't know if Anthony Edwards will be spectacular, but it'll be a big stage for him to have a bounce back game after 2 not so great performances in his last 2 outings. When we come back, NCAA has reached a historic settlement that has effectively ended amateurism as we know it. But I don't think it's ended the court cases or all the stuff we've been talking about for years, even if some are celebrating it that way. I'll explain it to you. We'll do that next on the Gary Parrish Show. We're inside the Bill Ford Tough Studio.
Gigi Jackson, I don't know if you know this, CJ, youngest player in the NBA, does not turn 20 until December of this year. He was the 45th pick in last year's draft. He becomes the first teenager, I believe, to be named to an all-rookie team without having been a first-round pick. Shout out Gigi Jackson.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt, live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Hey Grizzlies fans, turn your stadium excitement into betting action at Southland Casino Hotel. As a proud sponsor of the Memphis Grizzlies, Southland brings you more gaming action than ever before. Step onto our massive casino floor stretching more than 2.5 football fields. Slot enthusiasts can enjoy more than 2,300 machines from penny slots to high limits and play the hottest games like Aristocrat, Dollar Storm, Cloverlink, and Lightning Cash. Table game aficionados can feel the thrill of the felt with 50 live table games. From 3-card to blackjack match, we're ready to deal you in. Plus, don't miss stadium gaming for an interactive digital experience. And for high rollers, our high limit room is calling your name. Go big on 6 high limit blackjack tables or spin one of our 54 high stakes slot machines. Throw in 8 delicious dining options and a 300-room high-rise hotel, and there's plenty to keep you going. At Southland Casino Hotel, the gaming excitement never stops.
Must be 21 plus. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
There's no substitute for experience, the knowledge gained from having been there before, and the passion to share what you know. to make everyone around you better. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies Checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st, and you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Justin Timberlake.
I'm bringing sexy back.
The Forget Tomorrow World Tour. Live in Memphis. Justin Timberlake. FedEx Forum, Saturday, November 23rd. Get tickets now at livenation.com. The brand new single Selfish is available to stream and download now. For more, hit up justintimberlake.com.
Orthopedic injuries can be unpredictable, unforeseen, and unscheduled, and Ortho South understands this better than anyone. Since your injuries don't make appointments, you don't need to either, and that's because Ortho South welcomes walk-ins during the weekdays, in the evenings, and even on Saturdays. So next time an unforeseen injury makes an unscheduled appearance in your life, visit orthosouth.org to find your nearest urgent care location. Just walk in, and Ortho South will take care of everything, especially you. Learn more at orthosouth.org. That's Ortho South at orthosouth.org. Now I got 5 more things you need to know.
Number 1.
The NCAA and its 5 power conferences have agreed to allow schools to directly pay players for the first time in the 100-plus year history of college athletics. Before we get into all the details of it, you concerned about this as a University of Memphis fan, as a supporter of that great institution? Because now Mississippi State, Ole Miss, SEC schools, a lot of the schools you're competing with, particularly on the basketball side of things, they're going to have up to $20 million to throw directly at student athletes, and that is not money that's going to be available to the University of Memphis.
Yeah, it is. I think it is concerning. To try to be positive about it, I think Memphis spends as much, if not more, money than most of the Group of 5 schools. So, I think they're still going to be able to be towards the top of these schools outside of the Power 5 just because of how they've been operating for years now at this point. But yeah, it's definitely concerning.
It's the most dramatic.
There's a bigger gap happening for sure.
It is the most dramatic example of the people in charge making it very clear these things are not like these things.
Right.
These Big Ten schools and SEC schools are no longer like these AAC schools and CUSA schools. And we're not even trying to pretend anymore that they're operating on a balanced playing field. Mm-hmm. We have made – it's never been balanced, but it's like now technically in writing not the same. And that's not great. Now, there's still always a scenario that Memphis could find itself on the other side of the rope, so to speak. If you think of this as a club, and, Memphis has been standing outside for like 30 years, like trying to get in.
Yeah.
And people keep, they open up the rope and they let SMU in and they let Cincinnati in and they let UCF in. You're still standing there. If you'll follow the analogy, Memphis is still like right on that rope.
Yes.
I mean, right on that rope. And if some space opens up inside the club, if some space opens up inside the club, you might be the next one to walk through the rope.
Okay, well, it does seem like with all this money going around and these changes that there might be more room in the club.
What you're hoping for.
Yeah, going forward.
It's never going to be great. You're never going to be the SEC. You're never going to make that kind of money. But what you're hoping for is the ACC blows up and the schools that don't have a home in the Big Ten or the SEC. So let's say ACC blows up and Clemson's in a bigger league, and North Carolina's in a bigger league, and Virginia's in a bigger league, however it works. The schools that get left behind, like Memphis always gets left behind.
Right.
The schools that get left behind, this time there'll be ACC schools that get left behind, and maybe you can be in a league with them. A Miami, a Wake Forest, a Virginia Tech, a Georgia Tech. It won't be great, but it'll be way better than, Texas, San Antonio, and what you're dealing with right now. Right. So there's still some, let's not bury anything or anybody, but I wouldn't say this is a good development for the University of Memphis. I also wouldn't say this puts an end to all of the chaos in college athletics, because people are celebrating this like, whoo, aren't you glad to hear all of the lawsuits and countersuits, all that's in the past now? Everything's settled? Because that's what the word settlement implies. Like, everything's done here. Mm-hmm. Like, we've reached a settlement. Everything's done here, right? Like in the real world. When Diddy and Cassie reach a settlement, it's like, okay, they're done. This thing between them, whatever it was, that's done now because they've reached a settlement. The word settlement implies we're done here. We're not done here, because it's interesting. I'm reading and I'm talking to people, and even lawyers who are involved in this are saying things like, and we'll see what happens next. Because what they are still doing with this settlement is putting a cap on what schools are allowed to pay student athletes. And every other time they put a cap on it, and they've gone to court, with few exceptions, they lose. Because the courts say you're not allowed to limit what somebody else can make. That's not the American way. Mm-hmm. So the whole reason the NCAA almost went ruleless for a few years is because they were scared to put caps on anything. They were scared to tell anybody, you can't make this much money as a student athlete. So they just got out the game. So I don't understand how them saying, well, now we're giving you $20 million. We're giving student athletes $20 million a year. Okay, that's a lot more. It's literally $20 million more than what you used to give every year. That's a nice start. It's still a cap. It's still a cap. Mm-hmm. So it just feels like we're going to end up right back in court until this is collectively bargained with student athletes unionizing and becoming employees. See, we're still not where people have forever said we're going to end up, which is with student athletes as employees and a salary cap that is all collectively bargained and revenue splits that are collectively bargained. We still haven't gotten to that point, which means we ain't at the end yet. But people are talking about this like it's the end. I don't think it is. And there's already one other case still like floating out there that they not ignoring, but they tried to fold it into these other ones, and a judge in Colorado said, no, not yet. So it's a significant day in the history of college athletics, but I don't think it's an end to the chaos. I don't think it's an end to the uncertainty. It's just a big step in the right direction, but it ain't the last step in this direction, I don't believe.
Number 2.
The Louisville police officer who arrested the top-ranked golfer in the world last week, that golfer, of course, Scottie Scheffler, has been disciplined for a variety of reasons, most notably because during this interaction with Scottie Scheffler, he did not turn his body cam on. What is it with the Louisville Police Department not turning their body cams on?
I knew you were going to go there.
What are they doing over there in Louisville?
This cop, this guy appears to be he's gotten in trouble before.
Brian Gillis.
This ain't his first, he's been reprimanded a few times.
Hey, there are a lot of good police officers out there.
Of course.
Aren't there?
Yes, absolutely.
More
good than bad. Way more good than bad.
I hope so. Aren't you appreciative of them?
Of course I am.
Put their life on the line every day.
Absolutely.
You know what? They're better people than I would be. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't want to go out there and put my life on the line every day any more than I have to in my own day-to-day life, right? I wouldn't want to put a vest on every day.
Right.
Right? You appreciate them.
Of course I do.
So do I.
Yep.
This fella here, though, he seems like the stereotypical, man, you need to calm down, buddy.
It seems like he went a little crazy.
There's one of these in every department, I bet. I say that having never worked in a department.
Yeah.
But I bet you there's one of these fellas in every department, Brian Gillis.
Uh-huh.
He got a little excited.
He got too excited.
And you know what happens when you get too excited?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of things can happen when you get too excited. But among the things that can happen is you start making poor decisions.
Yeah.
You start making poor decisions. Maybe it's one thing if it involves some anonymous Louisville person, right? But this time it happened to involve a super rich, famous person.
Yeah.
And now we're looking at you. Yep. We weren't looking at you. We didn't even know who you were.
Now we know.
Now we're looking at you. Oh, Brian Gillis arrested Scottie Scheffler. Let's look at this fella. Now we got his whole career in front of us, and he gets in trouble all the time.
He gets in trouble a lot.
Why is he always?
Yeah, dude. He's been in trouble like 3 or 4 times.
Like, God, like in all seriousness, like if you push the wrong button over there, we laugh about it.
Yeah.
But I don't need to replace you for that.
Yes.
All right?
Yeah.
Shouldn't, like, we hold cops to a different standard? Like, if you keep doing your job the wrong way as a police officer, shouldn't it be like, all right, you don't get to do this job anymore. We can't trust you no more.
I think maybe so.
Like,
yeah.
this is too serious of a job.
Yeah.
You are in control of people's lives and livelihood. All right? You're in charge of arresting somebody, and, like, you could ruin someone's life. Right? And we can't trust you. So if you have the power to ruin somebody's life and we can't trust you, you don't get to do this job anymore. Is that too dramatic?
I don't think it's that dramatic, no.
I think the counterpoint would be, GP, you don't know how hard it is to have police officers this day. You start getting rid of the ones you can't trust. You don't have enough.
That could be true as well.
I remember my father, he ran a meat packaging company or something down there on President's Island, and one time we were talking about it, and I said, do you drug test your employees? He was like, are you crazy?
Right.
He's like, I run a plant.
Yeah, I wouldn't have any employees.
You start drug testing employees, you don't have,
Yeah.
You just hope you just hope nothing comes of it. But no, you can't drug test employees because you wouldn't have any employees. I wonder if the same thing is true here. I don't know. But this fella here, seems like he can't be trusted.
No,
They said one of the things he got in trouble for once, he arrested a drunk guy, put him in the back of the car, and then went to an empty parking lot and did donuts with the drunk guy in the back, presumably to try to make him sick or so. I don't know what he was doing.
Okay, honestly, I saw that too. That's kind of hilarious.
Is it?
That just sounds like he's having fun.
What if you saw a cop car doing donuts in a Kroger parking lot? Like, this is a wild thing to see.
Yeah, that's
like
very inappropriate.
Folks are always posting on social media, like car people, and they'll be like, on the interstate, and they'll just start doing circles, and people go, "Can you believe this is crazy?
Yeah.
This is so crazy." Well, they got Louisville cops doing that, okay? And it's the dude who arrested Scottie Scheffler, okay? What are we doing?
Oh man, I would give anything. I wish he would have left his damn body camera on, because I would give anything to have seen that interaction.
Oh, and by the way,
how that went down.
We get the police report. It's like Scottie Scheffler. The officer attached himself to Scottie Scheffler's vehicle, and then he drug him 10 to 20 yards. I didn't see that in the video.
I didn't see that either. I didn't even see, it didn't look like anything really happened.
It didn't look like anything happened. It didn't look like anything happened that should have escalated it to all of this nonsense.
Right.
But if you get a crazy cop like this, they can escalate anything. That's the problem. This guy also in his file. Guess when you're a cop, you have a file.
Yeah.
All right. And in his file, he'd wrecked 2 cars, had pursued a high-speed chase when he shouldn't have, had given out 100 citations in a few hours once. This guy sounds like a real jerk.
I'm glad he got reprimanded for that, because that's BS.
He sounds like a real jerk.
Yeah, and he's the dude that sits behind the bushes and just gets everybody that's going 2 miles over the speed limit.
He's that dude sitting on the hill on Poplar right at Germantown, and you can't quite see him and then it's too late.
Yep.
That's who this guy is.
Yes.
I guarantee you, Brian Gillis, but if he gets moved here, he'll just be sitting there on Poplar waiting on you.
Yep.
I know his type. He looks exactly how he should look. Have you Googled his picture?
I've seen his picture.
He looks exactly the way you would think he should look.
Yeah.
What a wild dude.
I agree.
Anyway, they haven't dropped the charges yet, though.
I know.
Why wouldn't you just drop the charges?
Well, I mean, Scottie Scheffler because didn't he do a press conference yesterday, and he was just like, he basically was like, this'll go away.
Yeah, but they haven't dropped it yet.
I know they haven't.
And you see his lawyer was talking yesterday, and the lawyer was like, we're not negotiating anything. We're not looking for a settlement. We will go to court.
Right.
Which is kind of risky. Like, he's charged with a felony.
He could go to jail. Yeah. That's right. He could, in theory, go to jail.
You never know.
Yes.
Like, I get it. I'm confident that the attorney is rightfully confident that there's no way Scottie Scheffler could get convicted of this stuff. But you never know what a jury's going to do. I mean, juries are filled with not smart people sometimes, and like you never know who got a. I didn't
realize that growing up either.
If my options were, hey, you can plead guilty to one minor thing, pay $2,500, and be done with this, or actually go to trial and be at risk of doing 3 years in prison, I'm just like, just pay them.
But this seems like one of those. No, this dude acted some kind of way towards me, and I'm not just gonna
It's fine. I hope. There's nothing I would enjoy more than a Scottie Scheffler trial.
Yes, that'd
live
be amazing.
On Court TV or Golf Channel or wherever we put this stuff.
It'd be big for golf.
It'd be big for golf.
I think they should go to trial.
I would love it.
Yeah, a Scottie Scheffler trial would do numbers for sure.
I think a Scottie Scheffler trial would do numbers.
Yeah.
Scottie Scheffler on trial. Just think about how impossible that was to imagine 2 weeks ago. That we would even discuss. Think about if I'd have told you 2 weeks ago, hey, on the Friday before Memorial Day, we'll be talking about Scottie Scheffler maybe having to go to trial for felony assault of a police officer. What? What in the world?
Man.
It's the funniest thing.
So good.
This fella here, Brian Gillis. I hope this is a teachable moment for him.
What? It doesn't seem like it. He's had plenty already. He doesn't seem like he learned.
I hope he learns something from this.
I guess.
I don't know if he's going to. He doesn't seem like the type.
Number 3.
Wheel of Fortune got wild yesterday.
It got really wild.
Did you see this fella on Wheel of Fortune?
I did, and I even tweeted it last night. This is how you know you're getting old, is because I was watching it live.
You can't be watching Wheel of Fortune live.
I was watching it live when it happened, and I was just like, that's embarrassing.
I don't even know what time Wheel of Fortune comes on, where it's at.
6:30 Central.
6:30 Central.
NBC.
On NBC.
Yeah. Pat and Vanna's still there.
How about that?
He's about to retire, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know what Vanna's doing. I don't know if we know what Vanna's doing.
I think Vanna got paid.
Yeah, I think Vanna's hanging around.
Yeah, I think Vanna.
Seacrest. Isn't it Seacrest?
I don't remember.
Or was that I don't know.
I don't know. But I remember Vanna was upset, and then I saw what she was making, and I was like, she should be upset. That's crazy. She was making not as much as she has been among the stars of one of the most successful television shows for decades. She should be filthy rich. Mm-hmm. And she has more money than most, but not as much money as you would think. And so she was like...
we talked about this.
Yeah. And she was like, all right, well, if you don't pay me 5 times what I'm making now, I'll walk out with Pat Sajak. And I was like, I don't know if this is probably something you should have said 20 years ago. Mm-hmm. Not today, because they might just say, we'll just start fresh with a whole new crew. Thank you for your time, Vanna. Yep. But I believe she got a new deal, and she's going to continue in, her role in some form.
Yeah.
I don't really know, nor do I care. Here's what we're talking about. Wheel of Fortune yesterday. So they put a,
big moment.
They put a puzzle up there, and you get to.
Of course, I know how it works.
You get to guess at it, right?
Yes.
Look at what this fella did. Watch this fella.
Tavares, right in the butt.
What?
No. Blake.
This is the best.
Yeah, that's it.
He thought.
Okay, Pat.
Tavares, right in the butt.
What?
The best is the woman. The best is the woman. She's so offended that this dude just said right in the butt.
Okay, dude.
Blake.
Pat,
this is the best.
my favorite thing about Wheel of Fortune is Pat, when he gets mad.
Was he mad there? He didn't.
Yes.
He didn't think that was funny.
No, he goes, no. Because he always tries to play it off as he's not, because you can't be mad if you're Pat Sajak. You have to be the happy host of the show.
Sure.
And there's so many moments. God, I sound like an old dude. Jeez, I'm sitting there talking about Wheel of Fortune moments.
What were you eating yesterday? Oatmeal?
I know, dude. I know.
You having some porridge while you watch Wheel of Fortune?
Hang on a second. The reason being is because
you put your hearing aid in and watch Wheel of Fortune.
I admit,
with some porridge.
I admit that's tough. That's a tough one to overcome. That I sit around and watch Wheel of Fortune live, but it's because 6:30 when it comes on, that's when you're trying to settle the kids down and you're having dinner and stuff like that. And the kids, they especially the baby, he likes the noises and stuff, and it's safe programming.
Sure.
It's everybody's kind of huddled
Well,
around.
it's safe programming until a man starts talking about putting it right in the butt.
That's the thing. Cover your ears, kids.
Cover your ears.
Yeah. No, but Pat got mad. That's why he's no. No.
He was offended.
Yeah, Pat
that
does
you would
that
bring
sometimes.
that you would bring that.
Sometimes Pat will get mad at the audience too. He'll be like if they start if you hear the rumbling in the audience because he thinks that they're helping the people, and he'll be like, audience, please,
Audience, shut up.
Pat will get mad sometimes.
Okay, I didn't know that about Pat.
Yeah,
I didn't know that about. I don't know him like that. Here's why it's hilarious. First, for the obvious reason, this man on national television just said "right in the butt," as if they would actually make that a puzzle, right in the butt. They just wouldn't do that, if only because it would offend Pat Sajak. All right?
Correct.
Here's what's hilarious, too. How do you spell right?
Oh, yeah, he didn't have enough letters.
He didn't even fill the boxes up.
Yeah, he didn't even fill the boxes.
Or he had too many letters.
Got a filthy mind.
He's just his filthy mind trumped his Wheel of Fortune intelligence.
Yeah.
Because you can't just get up. They don't let anybody on Wheel of Fortune. This guy's got to be good at Wheel of Fortune to get on Wheel of Fortune.
Yes.
So
you have to go through a lot. You have to go through a big process to get on that show.
So he knows when you see 4 spots, you need a 4-letter word.
Yep.
He picked a 5-letter word because it was trumped by he just wanted to say right in the butt.
Right in the butt. I don't think he wanted to say it, though. That was intrusive thoughts. That wasn't he was embarrassed. You could see it on him. He was embarrassed. He put that buzzer down quickly.
Right in the butt.
Dude, and you know the thing that's so sad? I feel
right in the butt.
I feel so sick for the guy because all I could think about, we're on camera every day, and it's just I could so see myself doing something like that, and it just anything you've ever worked for, it's just ruined by that one moment. He is always going to be right in the butt guy.
Right in the butt guy.
Wheel of Fortune, right in the butt guy. That's his legacy.
That's who you are now.
I mean, that's brutal.
He's probably done some good things in his life, but the only thing I know about him is he, in the presence of the legend Vanna White, he said right in the butt.
Yes. We didn't get it. We should have had a Vanna reaction.
And if you say right in the butt like that, if that just pops into your head like that, you've said right in the butt before. That ain't the first time he's ever said right in the butt.
No.
Yeah.
No, he's said that before.
Who do you think he says it to?
I don't want to pretend to know.
I don't know. I need to know a little bit more. I need to get on his Facebook page. I could probably figure it out on his Facebook page, but I bet his Google search history is interesting.
Can you imagine? They're talking about it in the chat. Can you imagine how many grandmas just almost fell out last night watching that? I mean, that is.
I don't know. We're getting to the age where grandmas. Have you thought about this at all? We're getting to the age where grandmas ain't grandmas.
That's true. They've seen some things.
Grandmas have tattoos now.
That's right. Yeah, this ain't grandma that grew up on a farm. And
no. I mean, we're at a point. Right. I know Harrison Butker doesn't think so.
That's right. He wants the old Wheel of Fortune contestants.
But we're at a point where the grandmas, the grandmas have tattoos. You don't think of grandmas like that. You're like, oh, the grandmas are so offended, I bet. And the grandmas are probably they got Wheel of Fortune on the big screen and porn on the laptop.
Yeah.
You never know with grandmas these days.
Right.
Grandmas can be wild, buddy.
Man.
So I ain't worried about the grandmas. I think they can handle it.
I think so. But my goodness, what am I? He didn't. He did not make it to the the bonus round. No, it was actually the lady that said, "What?"
Yeah.
she lost.
She might have needed to cover her ears.
Yeah, she was definitely offended.
That sounded like the first time she's ever even heard the word "butt," much less anything else with. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that poor guy. I feel bad for him. I mean, imagine walking into work today.
Hey!
Like it's Memorial Day weekend.
He can't do anything.
Plans?
Yeah, he can't ask nobody nothing. He walks into work. Hey guys, anybody seen Danny? Have you looked in your butt? It's just too much. It's too much. What a moment, man. But what I actually thought was funny is that the word didn't even fit.
No.
That's not a mistake you see Jeopardy champions make.
No.
Their words at least always fit. My man wanted to say right in the butt so enthusiastically, his words didn't even fit. He didn't even care if it fit.
I know. That's tough. Yeah. Yeah, he's never going to live that down, but I guess someone made the point I'll never live down the Marge Simpson thing. But that's, dude.
You're always going to be the guy who admitted unwillingly that you're attracted to Marge Simpson.
Yeah. And Marge Simpson was in Playboy, dude. So, it ain't that far off.
Marge Simpson was in Playboy.
Yeah. Correct.
Why?
I don't know. She was on the cover of Playboy.
Full frontal?
It was tasteful. There was I'll just say it. I'm just stating facts here.
Tasteful.
Yeah.
Who's got time for that?
All right.
Yeah, let's move on.
That's enough.
That's enough of that.
Enough of this.
Number 4.
Charles Barkley went on Dan Patrick yesterday and blasted his bosses at TNT because they are on the verge. It's not official yet, but it's headed this direction of losing the NBA. TNT's losing the NBA.
They are.
Yeah.
With these guys talking like that,
of course
they're
are.
losing it yet.
Here's among the things he said. Charles Barkley said, "The morale sucks, plain and simple. I just feel so bad for the people I work with. These people have families, and I just really feel bad for them right now. These people I work with, they screwed this thing up clearly, and we don't have zero idea what's going to happen. I don't feel good. I'm not going to lie, especially when they came out yesterday and said we bought college football. I was like, well, damn, they could have used that money to buy the NBA." So one of the points of contention here is that the TNT president, and it was just a negotiating tactic.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Warner Brothers Discovery CEO, is
Yes.
a guy named David Zaslav. All right.
Yep.
And I guess it's just a negotiating tactic, but I bet it's one of those things that once you say it and once people make you understand that you shouldn't have said it, you go, ooh, I shouldn't have said that. Because he famously, in the middle of these negotiations while talking publicly, because the question was something along the lines of, are you confident that Warner Brothers Discovery, the parent company of TNT, is going to be able to keep the NBA? Because the NBA on TNT is a big thing.
Yes.
And he just sort of bluntly, plainly said, we don't need the NBA. All right? And I understand, like, when you're negotiating from a place of leverage, perceived or otherwise, is where you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
So you, in a negotiation, you want TNT not to think, well, they'll do whatever they have to do to keep us. So what do you say? We don't have to keep them. We'll be fine without the NBA. The problem becomes when you say that, whether it's true or not. And it might be true, right?
Yeah.
They might be better off without the NBA because the NBA is very expensive.
Yeah. And they just got college football.
They got college football, It might be it's one of those deals, it might be 100% true, and you probably shouldn't have said it.
Right.
Because you know how that plays in the workplace? Charles Barkley's going to be fine. He's got more money than he needs, I assume, and will continue to make $15, $20, $25 million a year going forward. Charles Barkley's going to be talking about the NBA somewhere, no matter where it is. Ernie Johnson can retire, stay at Turner. He'll be fine. All the guys you see on TV, they'll be fine.
Yep.
I'm sure they're heartbroken about this because they like working together. They like working in Atlanta, but they'll all be fine. You have any idea how many other people work there that are going to lose their jobs?
Yep.
They're not going to be fine. We went through this at CBS within the past 6 months. Like, I had friends, people I worked with, like, they lost their jobs just because a show went away.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Time to Shine show that I used to guest host. It no longer exists.
I got you.
And that sucks for Adam Shine because he loved that show. And, it's not great for me because I enjoyed doing it.
Yep.
But, Adam Shine's got other things to do. And I've got other things to do.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there were people there who didn't have other things to do. That was their job, working on that show. So when that show doesn't exist anymore, guess what? They don't have their job anymore. Friends of mine had to relocate to different parts of the country, take different jobs, change careers in some cases. Sucks. So when you're the CEO and you're saying out loud, we don't need the NBA, and you got people who work for you who are like, buddy, I need the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
The NBA is how I have a job here. And if the NBA's here, I might not have a job here. If I don't have a job here, I don't have a job. But I do have a mortgage and I got kids. So it's just one of those things. It really seems to have rubbed everybody the wrong way.
Yeah.
When he said it. And I think he knows that now, even if he hasn't quite apologized for it. But still, it's pretty notable to see an employee call out a CEO like this in a very public way. And most people couldn't do it. Like, I couldn't do it.
Right.
Not that anybody assumed I could, but just for the record, I couldn't do that. Most people couldn't. But what are you going to do to Charles Barkley?
Right.
Nothing. You can't. What are you going to do? Pull him off the playoffs? No.
No.
What are you going to do? Tell him he's not coming back next year? No. You'll be the bad guy.
You'll always be the guy. You're already the guy that killed inside the NBA. Mm-hmm. You want to be the guy who killed it a year earlier than it needed to. So Charles can say anything he wants, and there's really nothing anybody's going to do anything about it. He's in rare company to be able to do that. Pat McAfee might be the other one because he kind of did it.
He already did, yeah.
Yeah, but the list is short.
Stephen A., yeah.
Stephen A. could probably say just about anything he wanted to say, but the list is short. Charles Barkley is on it, though, and so I can appreciate him going to bat for the behind-the-scenes people. Like, there are people who Charles Barkley has seen every day for 20 years or, like, multiple times a week for 20 years. You don't know who they are. I don't know who they are. But they become friendly. They have real relationships. I bet he texts with them when they're not at work. And they're going to lose their jobs. That stinks. Yep. And I appreciate him going to bat for them.
Yeah, I do too. It's going to be interesting to just see how that whole thing plays out too. Because, I mean, dude, like NBA TV's in Atlanta. Like, I mean, that's a big – NBA's a big part of that whole Turner.
The studios down there are amazing.
Yeah.
So much nicer than our studios in New York. I mean, like a million times nicer. And big space. I mean, you see it when you see Kenny running all the way back to the screen. Like, I've worked in that studio. Right. That studio is massive.
Huge, yeah.
Huge. So, yeah, it's not great, you know. It might be better for the bottom line.
Yeah.
Because this is expensive, and it was going to be more expensive than ever. Like, they were going to have to double what they had been paying to keep the NBA. More or less. Mm-hmm. So it might be better for the bottom line, but just like Charles said, morale stinks right now. And there will be real consequences to this. It won't involve Charles Barkley or Ernie Johnson or Kenny Smith or Shaquille O'Neal. Those guys are all taken care of, and they can all go and work, I think, anywhere they want to work. But most of the people who are going to be impacted by this decision, they can't. And their lives are probably going to be turned upside down, which is never fun.
Number 5.
Travis Kelce is the latest to speak on Harrison Butker's controversial commencement speech. He did so on his podcast with his brother, Jason Kelce.
What'd he say?
He said the same thing more or less that Andy Reid said and that Patrick Mahomes said.
Mm.
I'm paraphrasing here, but he said, I'll just give you the first quote and then I'll expand on it. He said, I cherish him as a teammate. And I think Pat said it best, where he is every bit of a great person and a great teammate. He's treated family and family that I've introduced to him with nothing but respect and kindness, and that's how he treats everyone. When it comes down to his views and what he said at St. Benedict's commencement speech, those are his. I can't say I agree with the majority of it or just about any of it, outside of just him loving his family and his kids. And I don't think that I should judge him by his views, especially his religious views of how to go about life. That's not just who I am. What do you make of that? We now have 3 prominent people who actually know this guy better than anybody else talking about it. And they all say, like, listen, man, I was not cool with what he was saying. That seems like a crazy way to think and a crazy way to approach life. But I just can tell you in my interactions with the guy, he's great. We've never had any problems. He's never been weird. He's always been cool. And, you know, his worldviews, they're just not something that I even deal with ever. The only version I know of this guy, I know he might see the world a little differently than I do, but just on a day-to-day basis, we're working together. I can't say more good things about him. What do you think of that?
I think that's a great way to handle it.
Don't we all know people exactly like that?
Yeah. I've worked with people in my life that I don't agree with, but I get along perfectly well. I'll even go a step further. I have friends that I don't agree with their stances on a lot of things, and it hasn't affected our friendship. And I think that maybe that's a good way to try to approach life. That'd be my opinion.
You know where I really have calmed down on all of this stuff, and perhaps this isn't the best time to be calming down.
That's
You know, with an important election.
That's true.
And multiple wars. Maybe I picked a bad time to calm down, but I genuinely stopped watching cable news. I don't turn it on anymore. It just irritates. It just makes me wonder what is wrong with the world. And so I still read everything. I'm not ignorance is bliss type thing. I still read everything. But I don't consume it in the same sort of ways that I used to. Because there was a time, you say it never impacted friendships. It did for me. The pandemic did for me. The Trump presidency did for me. Like I changed the way I looked at some people that I didn't know they really thought that way, you know? And I don't want to say that I lost friends, but I certainly changed the way that I think about people. And I guess people change the way they think about me too. Like this stuff works both ways. But I will tell you, when you are younger or without kids, or your kids are very young like your kids still are, your friends are sort of just your friends still. Like the people you hang out with are still just kind of the people you hang out with. Like I bet you the people you're going to hang out with next week, if you do, are more or less the same people you hung out with 2 years ago, right? You reach a point where the people you're around most, the adults you're around most, I bet you Vernon would tell you the same thing. It's not your friends anymore. You know who it is?
Your kids, friends, parents. Yeah.
You know, I was at a birthday party yesterday afternoon, and I was hanging out with these group of adults who I consider them all friends now. But do you want to know why they're all friends?
Because your kids met each other.
Yeah.
And became friends. Yeah.
Without that, I probably wouldn't even know at least some. I know I wouldn't know some of these people. But because our kids go to school together and play baseball together and soccer together, you're around them, right? And there's a lot of that. You get it. And so I can see their social media sometimes. And not these people in particular, but just I'm around a lot of people now, like game's over. Y'all going to get Mexican? Let's all go sit down. Table for 15. Like I'm in these group settings all the time because of my kids' sports.
Yep.
And I know I'm sitting there with people who don't think like me at all, who don't vote like me at all. I've seen their social media and I'm like, oh, wow, that's a wild thing to post. That's a weird thing to share. Ooh, buddy, I didn't know that about you, right? And I'm telling you, hand to heart, whatever these people, however they view the world and whatever they say in their own home or how they approach their marriage or anything, it never comes up. It is never a thing that's even noticeable. You're just around these people and they're all cool and everybody's getting along and it's just fine. And so when I hear Travis Kelce and Pat Mahomes and Andy Reid all say that about, like, I understand what it is they're trying to explain, which is, I heard what you heard, and that's crazy, you know? But I'm just telling you, I work with this guy every day, and he's never been anything but cool in the workplace. I think his views on life ain't my views on life, but just he's a pleasant dude on a day-to-day basis. I wouldn't want to be married to him, but he treats everybody, at least in this workplace, with respect, and nobody's ever had an issue with him. I can understand that because I deal with that in my own life. There are people who I know, like I look at their social media and I'm like, this person is bananas. And then I spend the day with them because I'm forced to. And I'm like, they seem normal to me. I know they're not because I've seen what they're sharing. But in this setting, they seem normal. And I bet you that's what this fella is.
I bet so too.
Still, he said some wild stuff.
He got a little wild.
He got a little wild
at that speech, but whatever. It's his opinion.
It's his opinion.
Yep.
Right? And if his, I don't know if his wife should be comfortable with it, but if he doesn't bring it to the workplace and he can still kick a ball straight, I imagine they're going to let him keep doing it.
I think they probably will. I think he's safe.
I think seems like he's safe.
Yeah.
All right. Be back with GP's Carryout.
Royal Flush Tour 2024. November 14th, FedEx Forum. A journey through the hits and timeless classics. The iconic band returns with special guests. Jason Bonham's Led Zeppelin Evening. Tickets on sale now at heart-music.com. Heart with Jason Bonham's Led Zeppelin Evening. Produced by AEG Presents. Nate Bargatze, the Be Funny Tour.
I mean, Chuck E. Cheese is rough. I don't know if you've been there in a while. They look like they're trying to go to business and they can't.
All new material.
They filed for bankruptcy and they're still open. They called Blockbuster and they're like, how do you get out? We want out.
Nate Bargatze.
Friday, May 31st, FedEx Forum. Tickets available at FedEx Forum box office or Ticketmaster.com. Produced by Outback Presents.
Nate Bargatze. The Be Funny Tour.
36 and a half vertical?
Watch your head.
Yeah, you said it was 44.
You sure I said that?
36 and a half.
36 and a half is big.
36 and a half. I've got bench press here.
18 times.
17.
Okay.
You always have to put a little barbecue
It's all barbecue sauce. Barbecue sauce on the wings.
The Chris Vernon Show, presented by Caesars Sportsbook, live weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
There's no substitute for experience, the knowledge gained from having been there before, and the passion to share what you know to make everyone around you better. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st, and you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
LifeCare Ambulance is proud to be an official partner of the Memphis Grizzlies and FedEx Forum. At LifeCare, they wear their hearts with pride. Their passion is their people. They want you to love what you do and where you do it. Their employee-driven culture encourages a healthy work-life balance and supportive work environment. They invest in your success and well-being so that you can provide the best care for the patients that they serve. Join the incredible team of EMTs and paramedics in Memphis, Nashville, and across the nation today. Learn more at lifecareamb.com.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Getting dark out there again, Bennett. Oh, it's a good day for naps, not a good day for golf. Is it just going to be like this for the rest of our lives?
It's going to be like this
Is this
forever.
just the way it is?
Yeah.
It's dark out there.
It's dark out there.
I don't think the camera did it justice.
I know.
I did, because I was looking at the shot, and I was like, it doesn't look so dark. But you look outside, and, buddy, it looks dark.
Yeah.
Looks like we got rain on the horizon. You ready for a wet Memorial Day weekend?
No, and I got mosquito problems in my yard.
You
It's gonna
said
be
that
bad.
a couple
I
times.
know, man. And man, the neighborhood I moved into, I love it, but it's
You got a mosquito problem.
We got mosquito issues over there. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, we got mosquito issues.
Can't you call somebody for that?
Yeah, but I don't like. I'm trying to do my own remedies because, like, I heard that with the mosquito companies, like it could affect other nature and.
What are you so worried about?
I'm a fan of nature and,
What part?
and birds and things like that.
You think your mosquito medicine's going to hurt the birds?
I don't want the birds to be scared off of my backyard because of the mosquito spray.
You're worried about scaring birds?
Yeah.
I'm not. Birds are brave. Birds are brave. Birds are brave.
Okay.
I don't think
I
you're
just heard that it could affect them.
Well,
maybe
where-
I don't know. Maybe someone in the chat can confirm, but I've heard that.
I never heard that.
You haven't? Do you do mosquito spray in your yard?
We used to, and then it didn't.
It didn't work.
Not as well as it should have.
You were still getting bit by mosquitoes.
Yes.
See, there you go.
And it's like they'd be like, because they'd come out.
I have a theory.
They'd come out. I want to hear it.
Uh-huh.
They'd come out and they'd say, we can do this and this. I said, do everything. Spray everything.
Yeah, spray it.
Double spray it.
Yeah.
Charge me 5 times. 5 times spray it.
Uh-huh.
My goal is to not get eat up by mosquitoes because we spend a lot of time in the backyard.
Yeah.
So they come out and they do it, and they're like, all right, we'll see you next week.
Uh-huh.
That was $100 or whatever it was.
Yep.
And then I'm like, getting beat up by mosquitoes.
Yeah.
So then they come back next week, and I say, hey, buddy, I don't know if you missed a spot last time, but I got mosquito bites, and I thought you were in charge of making that not happen. And he was like, well, you're never going to be able to get rid of all of them. And I was like, then what are you even here for? I want to get rid of all. Imagine there's
you got 40 pit bulls in your backyard, and there's a pit bull company. They'll come out and they can spray your backyard to get rid of 38 of the pit bulls. That doesn't do any good, does it? You still got 2 back there that'll eat your ass up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, like, the explanation was, well, I mean, you didn't think we were going to get rid of all the mosquitoes, did you? And I was like, yeah, otherwise, what is the point?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter to me if I got 100 mosquitoes or 70 mosquitoes. Like, I still got mosquitoes biting me. So I think I canceled it.
So my theory is...
You have a theory on this.
That it's never going to fully get rid of them because that fear in the back, like if you see one, it's like, oh, I got to get them to come back out and keep coming back out and keep coming back out and spraying. So it's like maybe they could get rid of all the mosquitoes, but they want to leave a couple because it's got it in the back of your head. Oh, I need them to come spray again. I need them to come spray again. Spend more money. Come spray. Come spray. We need you to come.
Just like HIV.
How so?
The government won't get rid of HIV. They just want to treat you for HIV. They don't want to. I don't know if that's true. I just heard, I heard that in a rap.
I can't begin to know.
I heard that in a rap song one time.
Okay.
I don't know if it's true.
Okay.
I heard it in a rap song.
Well, maybe it's an accurate comparison.
But you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
What? Hey, the money ain't in eliminating these mosquitoes.
No, the fear is what brings them back. Is what keeps the companies around.
Yeah,
right?
the money is in.
Wait, there's a mosquito over there.
I need to get
Call
them back. Call them. Get them back out here.
Yeah.
You might be onto something.
Yeah.
I don't know. That sounds like something we could learn more about on the For You tab.
Yeah. If you get rid of all of them, then maybe eventually you just like stop thinking about it. And hey, no mosquitoes.
No
like
mosquitoes.
maybe I'm good.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
The fear. They keep you in fear. Yep. That's it.
That probably is it.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Let's do GP's carryout.
It's time for GP's carryout. One final segment filled with stuff to take with you. It's not everything you need to know, but it's most of it. What did we learn today?
I mean, a whole bunch of stuff. But I think the most important is that Bennett thinks pest control is a conspiracy. Perhaps just like HIV.
Yeah.
Also, we learned today Bennett does value Memorial Day.
Obviously.
But not as much as Christmas or Thanksgiving. What about Halloween?
Oh, I would rank Halloween ahead as well.
I can only give you one holiday. We're running short on holidays.
Yeah.
I can only give you one more. Would you like Halloween or Memorial Day?
I think I love Halloween. We're big Halloween people.
So you respect the people who paid the ultimate sacrifice
Yep.
for our country.
Yep.
But not enough to where you're willing to not dress up in a costume one day a year.
I mean, I respect them throughout the year. I don't need some holiday telling me to respect them on this special day when I'm respecting them throughout the year.
When was the last time you stopped at a red light when a fella was out there saying, I fought for this country and now I'm hungry, and you gave him a chicken salad sandwich or something?
I mean,
you ain't out there doing the work.
All right.
You ain't out there doing the work.
Maybe I'm not.
You ain't out there doing the work. How do you feel about people who just stand at red lights?
I got no problem with it.
It just seems lazy.
I mean, in some cases they can't help it.
In what cases can they not help it?
I mean, maybe they're disabled or,
They're standing. They're often standing.
Yeah.
It's just...
I don't know.
I feel like I don't know. I guess they're doing the best they can.
Yeah.
You ever get nervous? They just look at you sometimes.
I mean, there is I don't know what to do sometimes. Like, yeah.
Do you ever intentionally not make eye contact?
Yes, I'm guilty of that.
I'm guilty of that too.
I think a lot of people are.
Act like I don't even see them, but I see them.
Yeah. I mean.
But that's a lot of pressure to put on people. Like, you're just going to work, and because this person just happens to be standing here, I'm supposed to roll down the window and throw some cash out the window. It's a lot of pressure.
Well, now people just walk up to your window.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's aggressive.
Yeah, now people just walk up to your window.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that works. Anyway, you respect folks who gave the ultimate sacrifice.
Yes.
But just not as much as you enjoy Halloween, Thanksgiving, or Christmas at least.
I really like those holidays.
I do too.
I can do all. I can do all. I can do all of the above.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm excited about Memorial Day.
I am too.
I'll say that much.
I am too. It's gonna be a great day.
Yeah, it's gonna be an awesome day.
Awesome day.
All right.
What's today's biggest game?
We're going Western Conference Finals.
Okay.
It's the
Hit me with
Timberwolves
it.
and the Mavericks.
You got to get back on track.
Game 2. You do need to get back on track. You lost the other night. You lost. You had Minnesota minus 4.5. Tonight, you're going to have to pay a bigger price.
I bet.
Minnesota minus 5.5.
Yeah. Give it to me.
You want to lay points.
Yes.
You believe in Anthony Edwards.
Yes.
You believe in Rudy Gobert.
Yes.
You believe in Karl Anthony Towns.
T-Wolves big tonight.
T-Wolves big tonight.
Double-digit victory.
Because the Mavericks, they already have their mindset. You know what their mindset is?
Let's get home. Let's get back home.
All
We took care of business. Isn't that what they say?
I hate it when they
we
say
took
that.
care of business. Now we just got to get it back home.
Like, that's such a stupid approach.
I know. Why not just go win every game in
Like
the
the
series?
idea that because you win game 1, game 2 doesn't matter has never made any sense.
Yeah. But I'm telling you, that's game 2 doesn't matter. That's why they're going to lose big tonight.
Like, you'll hear actual players say this. They'll say, well, we only wanted to come here and get 1. Why?
I know.
Why not get as much as you can?
Yeah.
Like, what? Because what? I just never understood it.
Yeah.
Like, just because we're up 1, so now we'll let them tie it back up, and then we'll get focused again. How about go up 2? Wouldn't it be better to go up 2?
It would.
I don't understand the approach. Timberwolves are laying 5.5 tonight. Bennett says
I'll
take
take
them.
it. Yeah.
Bennett says take them. Tip is at 7:30. It's on TNT.
What are we watching on TV?
Smackdown.
It's the go home show before. Where are we? Are we in
Saudi
Jeddah?
Arabia?
Are we in Jeddah tonight?
I think we're in Saudi Arabia.
Well, wait. No, there's no way because the time difference. There's no way SmackDown's going to be there unless it's pre-recorded.
I believe
it's probably pre-recorded.
Pre-taped.
Yeah.
But from Saudi Arabia, I believe.
Yeah.
Where is SmackDown? Hell, let's just figure this out. Where is SmackDown tonight?
Well, it's got to be there. Yeah, you're right.
Friday Night SmackDown. Yeah. We're in Saudi Arabia, baby.
So probably pre-taped. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
King of the Ring. Queen of the Ring.
Yep.
Semifinals tonight. You ready for this? Randy Orton versus Tama-Tonga. He's a loose cannon.
He's wild.
This Tama-Tonga is a loose
he's
cannon.
like Solo.
He's a little bit like Solo.
Uh-huh.
They done put Solo in a suit and turned Tama-Tonga into Solo.
Yeah.
What do you think happens there?
I don't know.
Winner gets Gunther.
Yeah, they were going. Gunther's going to win this thing.
I think so.
Yeah, he's taking it home.
What had to be Gunther or Jey Uso, right?
Yeah.
So and Gunther defeated Jey Uso.
I called it. I said Gunther a couple weeks ago.
I think it's going to be Gunther against Tama-Tonga.
It takes so much in my being as a kind of redneck to not call him Gunther. Like every time
we talked about this.
Gunther.
They call him different names all the time. Sometimes they call him Gunther. Sometimes they call him Gunther. I call him Gunther.
I call him Gunther. Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, so he's just waiting on the winner of Randy Orton, Tama-Tonga. So we'll get that tonight. Bianca Belair is she's in the semifinals tonight as well. Who's she getting? Nia Jax.
Oh, it's a big test for her.
Nia Jax, a big girl.
Yeah, she'll beat your ass. Yeah.
Why they keep? It's like they're always trying to. I don't need Nia Jax.
I like Nia.
You know who I like? Maxine Dupree.
She's great. She
can wrestle.
Yes, she's great. I'm a fan of Maxine's as well. Yep.
I don't think they're doing enough with her.
I just got to say, dude, I'm not, they just lose me this time of year.
You just ain't your heart's not in it anymore.
No, I'll be back for SummerSlam, but they lose me a little bit this time.
You see, SummerSlam's moving to 2 nights.
Next year,
2020,
right? Yeah.
Maybe not 2026, maybe.
That's smart because it's like you set up your whole year for WrestleMania and do this big thing, and it's like, man, SummerSlam's right there. Like, do it twice a year, Make SummerSlam as big as Mania. Why not?
I don't know. How about this? How about this? Tonight, we get Game 2 Western Conference Finals and SmackDown. I'm in.
Count me in. Did you finish the Stack Stock, by the way?
Yes,
it was awesome. It was really, really good.
It was great.
Well done.
Well done. Just great. It's an amazing story.
Mm-hmm.
And it was told really well.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned things. Perhaps I shouldn't have learned things. I'm a 47-year-old man who's lived here my whole life. Maybe I should have known everything about Stacks, but I learned things.
Yep.
I thought it was great. I can't recommend it enough. If you haven't watched it yet, it's on the Max app. You can fit that in tonight, too.
What's the best thing we've read?
David Cobb over at CBSSports.com has a breakdown of the winners and the losers in the House versus NCAA settlement. So if you haven't read that yet, go find it, cbssports.com.
What's on tap next week?
We're not going to be here on Monday. It's Memorial Day.
That's right.
Then it's got to reflect a little bit.
Yes, absolutely.
Might need to look in the mirror a little bit.
Yeah, I got to try to get rid of the mosquitoes too.
That too.
Yep.
That's tough.
I got my tiki torches. I got my I knew you were going to
None of it. None of it. Buy your little candles. I
got the candles. I got the tiki
works.
torches.
Nothing works.
Yeah.
Nothing works.
We're going to try our best. We grow mint in the backyard. I know. I didn't. Okay, so there's these weird plants in the backyard, and I was like, why are these here? I'm going to cut these down. They're in this random spot. I'm just like, what are these doing here? And then as I'm like about to start cutting them, I take a whiff, and I'm like, that's mint. There's mint growing in my backyard.
I like mint.
Why is there mint growing in the backyard? Apparently mosquitoes hate mint.
How about that then?
Yeah.
But not enough to stay away from your backyard.
So the previous owners, I mean, dude, we're trying. I think it's just that neighborhood gets a lot of Normandy Meadows got a mosquito problem. Yep.
This is exactly why they moved Jerry Snowcone.
Maybe that is. You have to wait in line all that time during the summer. You're going to get bit by 1 million mosquitoes. Maybe that's why they moved it.
I don't think that's it. But
probably not.
Could be. So we're not going to be here on Monday. Bennett's going to take some time to reflect.
Yes.
And study mosquitoes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I'm going to do. But, we'll be back Tuesday, God willing.
Yep.
If we're lucky enough.
Yep.
We'll see. Enjoy your holiday weekend. I'll enjoy mine. We'll meet back here Tuesday at 10. Till then, be careful, be kind, be good. Rep your hood.